Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. We're so excited to be here with you guys today. It's another great Tuesday morning. And let me tell you, it has been a great month. And can you believe that the month is almost over? That's so crazy. We only have like a week and a half left of this month. I feel like this year is already flying by. Like, for us business owners, I don't know about everybody else, but like I do my taxes really close to the time that like April. I'm doing my taxes like really close to then, and then maybe filing extensions and things like that, and it's like I'm already realizing, holy crap, I got to get everything ready, We're coming up. Things are moving along. So hopefully it has been a good couple of months. This year has been a good couple of months for everybody. I know it's been amazing for us. It's been super busy, and that's exciting, especially coming off of 2023, where I feel like people were a little more reserved with their spending, and I'm sure a lot of you guys felt that. So hopefully this year has already started off hot for you, and you guys are feeling the reprieve that I think 2024 is going to bring as a whole. So today, let's jump in. We're going to be talking about recognize the value. There is a lot of value, and if you don't recognize it, you're going to screw some things up. Let me tell you, you will. Sometimes in our business, we get so overwhelmed with the daily tasks, the day-to-day, the things that we're used to doing, that we fail to recognize the value that can come and does come from doing something different. And so I don't want to give it all away. I'm going to let Troy jump in, because if I say anything else, like what's spinning through my mind is just going to take his outline. I already know it. So go ahead, Troy, jump in.
Yeah. So today we wanted to talk about, like Trevor said, like basically making sure that you're seeing the value in the things that you're doing and making sure that you're committed to those things. And we wanted to share a story with you about a childcare center that we were working with recently. And basically, we created a SoTellUs Connect account for them, which is our, automated marketing communication platform, lead management. And we were all excited for them to get going. They were really focused on scheduling more tours and also kind of automating the employment process, getting applications in the door, scheduling the interviews for those applications. So we spent a fair amount of time building this for them, and we're really excited for them to start using it. And we got a call from them saying that they wanted to cancel their account. And we're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And the response we got there was basically that, they were saying that, it didn't work. People weren't filling out the forms. We're just not seeing the results. And we're like, what? No way. So we immediately logged into their account, and we were, actually not shocked. We found what we expected to find.
We were shocked that they were wanting to cancel with the results we found.
Yeah, exactly. So in a very short period of time, we found that they had 8 leads that had come in the door, and their leads are worth about $12,000 a year. So about $96,000 worth of business had come in the door through those leads, and they were all people that were very interested as far as, again, with childcare, it's like, hey, do you have room for my child?
Yeah.
I need childcare right away. And so they had a lot of leads coming in the door. They had one employment application come in the door. But what was interesting with it was, again, this is a automated lead management system. And, all they have to do is kind of move the lead into the next stage, and then all the automation kicks off, and nothing really happened. They hadn't moved anybody to the next stage. They were still kind of sitting there, and we're like, what is going on? And, we were talking about it, like, why would this be? And what we realized was that, SoTellUs Connect was just not a part of their usual daily tasks. They were ignoring these leads coming in the door, which what they said they needed most in their business was leads.
Yeah.
And here these leads came in the door and they ignored the leads and weren't really seeing the value of the leads because it wasn't a part of what they did on a daily basis. And that's really interesting. So we thought, we need to talk to our other clients about this and all the people that listen to the podcast and really talk about, that you need to recognize the value and you need to shake it up. Meaning that you don't just want to do, if you're always just doing the exact same thing that you always did, you're going to get the results that you always got.
Yep.
So, you need to change it up. So we have a couple of tips for you today on how to kind of change it up. And number one is don't be afraid to do something different in your marketing, right? Trevor and my schedule has been filled these first couple of months of 2024 with people, coming to us saying, man, I have never marketed my business in 20 years, but 2023 was a really hard year and I've got to do something different, right? I've got to market. I got to market in a different way to make sure that those leads and those jobs are coming in the door. So don't be afraid to do something different in your marketing just because it's something you haven't done before, right? If you don't try other forms of marketing, then you're never going to know whether, they could be your best marketing that you've ever done in your business, or if they're a great form of marketing that, is just going to bring in those extra jobs that you need every single month. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Trevor?
No, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I mean, you got to really look at your business, look at what you're doing. And then we've talked about this before. Make sure you're maximizing it. Make sure you're actually implementing it. Don't be an event junkie. We've talked about event junkies before. People go to these events, and if you've ever gone to an event, you know what I'm talking about. You go to the event, you hand out your credit card a whole bunch because you get sold on everything, and then you go home and you implement nothing, and you just spent a bunch of money. So don't be an event junkie in your business because you don't just have to go to an event to do that. You can do that just in your business, right? Make sure you're actually maximizing everything that you're currently doing.
Yep. And that actually leads right into our next tip, which is when you try something new in your marketing, fully commit.
See, I'm always ruining Troy's outline here.
No, that was a perfect transition because that's it. You need to make sure that when you're going to do something new, dedicate the time and create the processes to make sure that you're fully committed to do it. Because again, the last thing you want to do is attempt a new marketing strategy, not really commit to it, and then not get the results you want and say, you know what, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for my business. And we've actually seen that. We've had people come to us and they say to us right off the bat, oh yeah, no, Google Ads, that doesn't work. We've tried it before. It didn't work. Right. And then Trevor gets in, starts looking at their Google Ads and their account, and he goes, oh my gosh, yeah, this is why this didn't work for you. And next thing you know, Trevor turns it around and it's their best form of leads. It's creating the most leads for them. So you've got to make sure that that you really commit to any type of marketing that you're doing. And the next thing is don't give up too quickly. And this is a big one. And Trevor, I want you to kind of elaborate on this a little bit. You've talked about it before, but why is it important to get 12 months worth of data when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. People want to test something and they're like, well, I'll give it a couple of weeks. What are you going to get over a couple of weeks? You may pick the worst 2 weeks of the entire year. You may have the worst 5 to 7 days to 14 days of all year long. That is not a test. You don't understand what any avenue of marketing can do for you, or I like to call it avenue of revenue, right? Because that's what marketing is, revenue. So there's different avenues to revenue. You don't understand it until you understand 12 months of it. Some industries understand that they've got, 4 or 5 months a year that is like their hot months. And then they've got these other months that are slow, right? But when it comes to your business and your industry, what does January, February, March, April, May, June, July look like? What does August, September, November, October, all of that, October, November, December. You need to know for any given avenue. I mean, at first, I'll even tell you, PPC for SoTellUs drove Troy nuts. And he's like, this is expensive. I don't like it. He's like, true. And I was like, but we don't know. Like, yeah, maybe, January was expensive, but we don't know what March is going to be. We don't know what April or December or, and so I kept saying, we got to do 12 months. And he's like, yeah, I know. Even us. And we're the same way. We are the same way. Troy has to remind me all the time. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And he's like, dude, we have not tested this yet. You need to just chill. And so we do. We have to do that in our own business. And so we understand it completely. But if you have not, you may give up so much revenue because of even a couple of months that are low or slow, when the next month or the next 5 months or 6 months or 8 months are going to be just absolutely amazing and game changing for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor's so right. And, sometimes the best results are just right around the corner, but we give up too quickly and we never see them. Like, for example, December usually, especially when we started doing PPC back in the beginning, December was like a really slow month for us. And I remember going, oh my gosh, like we should just shut this off. Like it's too expensive. It's not going to work. And then January rolls around and all of a sudden we get 3 times the sales at a third of the cost. And I'm like, Google Ads is the best thing that's ever happened to us. So had I quit and said, Trevor, no, we're done in December, we would have lost out on so many sales that were right around the corner.
And here's the thing is beyond, and to that point, sometimes letting things marinate, having longevity. What happened in more recent years to our Decembers compared to when we first started?
They're way better.
They're amazing, right? Like December, we're kind of like, the funny thing is that Troy and I didn't realize how grateful we were for slow Decembers, because the year's crazy. And then December was always kind of like, chilling, take some time off and relax and, not be so stressed and busy. Well, it's not like that anymore. December's nuts for us. And so, but it's because the PPC, the SEO, these different avenues of revenue that we've been putting out there for years now really has marinated, and the fruits of our labors have come to fruition. It's a pipeline. Sales is a pipeline. And we preach this to our sales guys all the time. So think of a pipe and you're stuffing tissue paper in that pipe. When you start stuffing 2 and 3 tissue papers, and let's say it's this long, let me get on camera. Let's say it's this long. You start stuffing it in, nothing's falling out the other side. But eventually, as you keep stuffing those, tissue papers or whatever you want to call in there, on the other side, it's going to start to fall out. And so that's the thing that is the same thing with marketing. The longer you do it, the more solidified you are in it, it can work even better for you. So maybe year 2 or 3 is going to be way better than year 1. But people just give up on things so fast. And it's hilarious because our competitors in this industry, they spend 10 times what we spend on marketing. I would say even more than that, 20, 30 times what we spend. And they will literally shut their PPC off. They will shut it off. I can track it. I see everything. I know what's going on. They will shut it off. They disappear. And our leads go through the roof. During COVID, they all backed away. Guess who was there? We were there. Guess what people wanted to do with their businesses during COVID? They wanted to make sure that they were the best. They had the best reputation, that they got reviews from their customers. Our business grew while they stepped back. So anyways, it's definitely something. And I advise my clients all the time. They're like, well, should I turn it off for this? And should I turn it on for this time? No, until you have 12 months of data, until you know exactly the months that suck completely, and maybe you've done it for 2 or 3 years, so you know, because like December, we would have normally just said shut it off every December or take it down to a tiny budget. But year 2 and year 3 were freaking amazing. Now year 6, 7, 8, whatever are amazing for us in December. I have a pest control company, same thing. We talked about it, we discussed it, and we decided what we were going to do was just turn the budget on and let it run all year long. And you know what? It's done really well. It's done really well, a lot better than they expected it to even. And so that's the thing is sometimes people just give up before they get to, the reward, the end.
Yeah. All right, Trevor, anything else before we hit the homework?
Nope, let's hit the homework. We're going to keep it quick. Today, we're talking about the recognizing the value. So you need to recognize the value in what you're doing. Look at what you're currently doing, and then also look at what you could be doing and recognize that value. Really see it. So take a look at your marketing. Is there something you started but haven't fully committed to and implemented? Okay. And are you really tracking it? Tracking. You don't know if anything works unless you track it. If so, create a plan this week to actually commit to it. How are you going to implement it and how are you going to track it? Okay. Is there a marketing strategy that you've always wanted to implement, but you never really have? Or maybe you dabbled. Now that you're listening to our podcast, this podcast, you're saying, oh yeah, I only ran that for 2 weeks. Well, guess what? It wasn't the marketing that sucks. Might have been you. But you never gave it a fair chance. So set aside time to implement some of these things that you wanted to try, or maybe you tried, air quote, tried, but didn't fully implement, and then figure out a way to move forward with that. That would be this week's homework, guys. I think a lot of you are culprits when it comes to this. I know Troy and I were too. Listen, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And we had to learn it. So now that we've learned it, we're sharing it with you. Now that you've heard it, you'll never forget it. You can't unlearn what we teach you. Sorry. Now it's on you to move forward, take the steps that need to be taken in order to make your business even more successful than it currently is. We can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink it. Unless you hire us and I come into your business for the day, then I will make you drink that water. I will. Yeah. I will dunk your head in that river. All right, guys, we love you. I now have a vision of waterboarding my clients.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. We love you. We waterboard you.
We want to waterboard you to indoctrinate you into being successful, if that's what it takes. We love you. We appreciate you. We will catch you guys on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.